Every single day, you say words to your dog. You say good morning. You say let's go. You say I love you in that voice. You know the one. And every single time, your dog looks back at you with those eyes. But here's the question nobody really stops to ask. What are they actually feeling in that moment? Not what they hear. Not what they understand. What they feel. Because the answer, backed by years of science and animal behavior research, is far more emotional than most owners ever realize. And once you hear it, you will never talk to your dog the same way again. Think about this morning. Maybe you said your dog's name while you were still half asleep. Maybe you talked to them while making coffee. Maybe you narrated your whole commute prep out loud and they just sat there, watching you, head slightly tilted. Or maybe you've had one of those days, the hard ones, and you sat on the floor and just talked, not expecting anything back, just talking. And somehow, it helped. There's a reason for that. There's a reason your dog's ears change when you speak, why they move closer, why their breathing slows, why they rest their chin on your knee when your voice drops quiet. Your words are doing something to them, something deep, something real. And most people have absolutely no idea what it is. Let's start with something that might surprise you. Your dog doesn't process language the way you do. They're not parsing sentences or following grammar. But researchers at Eötvös Loránd University in Hungary discovered something remarkable. Dogs actually process the meaning and tone of your words in different parts of their brain, just like humans do. The left hemisphere handles the meaning of words they've learned. The right hemisphere processes your emotional tone, the music of how you say things. But here's what makes this emotional. When both those signals line up, when your words are positive and your tone is warm, your dog's brain lights up in its reward center. Think about that. When you lean down and say, "You're such a good boy," in that soft voice, it's not just nice for them, it's neurologically rewarding. Your voice, just your voice, triggers something in their brain that feels like a reward. Now ask yourself, how many times a day are you giving your dog that feeling without even knowing it? But that's only part of the story. Because what your voice does to their emotions, that's where things get really interesting. Here's something almost every dog owner has experienced, but few can explain. You come home from a terrible day. You haven't said a word. You walk through the door, you put your keys down, and your dog is already there, already pressed against your leg, already looking up at you with something in their eyes that isn't quite concern. It's closer to knowing. You didn't say anything. So, how do they know? Dogs are emotional detectives. They read micro changes in your body language, yes, your posture, your pace, your facial tension, but your voice is one of their most powerful tools. Studies show dogs are sensitive to stress signals in human vocal patterns, changes in your pitch, your rhythm, even the speed of your breathing between words. They don't need to know what stressed means. They just feel it radiating from you. And here's the part that should make your chest tighten a little. When they sense that in your voice, their own stress hormones rise. They don't understand why you're hurting. They can't fix it. They can't ask what's wrong. But they will not leave your side. That's not trained behavior. That's attachment. That's a bond so deep it's become biological. Most people never realize their dog is carrying a piece of their emotional weight every single day. But now we need to talk about something even more powerful. Picture this. You leave for work. The door closes, and your dog is alone. What do you think they're thinking about? Researchers studying separation anxiety in dogs found something that quietly breaks your heart. Dogs in distress after their owner leaves will often respond to a recording of their owner's voice and calm down. Just a voice, coming from a speaker. No body, no scent, no touch, just your voice, and it works. Now think about what that means. Your dog has internalized the sound of you so deeply that it lives in them even when you're not there. Your voice is stored somewhere in their emotional memory as something that means safe, something that means home. Your dog doesn't know what a job is. They don't know what traffic is. They don't know what an 8-hour shift means. All they know is that the voice that makes them feel safe went quiet. And they wait. They wait by the door, by the window, in the spot where they can smell you most. And they wait, because somewhere in that waiting is the hope that the voice will come back. If your dog has ever greeted you like you've been gone for years when it's only been 2 hours, now you understand why. Okay, let's talk about something a little more vulnerable. You do it. I know you do it. Most dog owners do it within the first week of bringing a dog home and never stop. The voice, that higher-pitched, slightly ridiculous, completely sincere voice you use specifically for your dog. You've probably been mildly embarrassed about it in public. Maybe you've switched back to your regular voice the second someone walked into the room. Here's the thing. Stop being embarrassed. Because science just vindicated you entirely. Researchers at the University of York found that dogs don't just respond better to dog-directed speech, they actually prefer it. When given the choice between a person who spoke to them in that warm, high-pitched tone versus one who spoke normally, dogs chose to spend more time with the first person. Your dog voice isn't silly. It's a love language, and your dog responds to it the way most of us respond to someone saying exactly what we need to hear at exactly the right moment. But here's the thing nobody talks about. It's not just the pitch. It's the effort. When you shift into that voice, you're directing your full attention toward them. You're slowing down. You're softening. And dogs are exquisitely sensitive to being seen, to being chosen. That voice tells them, right now, in this moment, you are my whole world. And they feel it. I want you to stop for a second. Think about all the words you've said to your dog this week. The good mornings. The let's go for walks. The silly one-sided conversations you had while cooking dinner. The I missed you when you came home. The it's okay when the thunder started. Your dog doesn't know what those words mean. Not most of them. But they have built an entire emotional world around the sound of them. They know the word that means the leash. They know the word that means the car. They know the word that means you're proud of them. But more than any individual word, they know you. The exact rhythm of your sentences. The way your voice changes when you're tired versus when you're happy. The sound you make when you're about to give them attention versus when you're distracted. They have studied you more carefully than any human ever has. And in a world where they cannot speak, cannot ask, cannot explain what they need, your voice is their anchor. Your dog doesn't know what forever means. They live completely in the present. And in every present moment that you speak to them, gently, warmly, even absent-mindedly, you are telling them something they understand in their bones. You're here. You're safe. I am not going anywhere. That's what your words mean to them, not the dictionary definition, the emotional one. And I think if most dog owners really understood that, really felt it, they'd talk to their dogs even more. They'd linger a little longer before leaving. They'd say the name one more time before turning off the light. Because it matters more than you know. Here's something worth sitting with. Your dog talks back. Not in words, but in a language that's just as real, if you know how to listen. When you speak to your dog and they let out a low, soft sound, that's not random noise. Researchers studying canine vocalizations have found dogs produce different sounds in response to their owner's emotional tone. A warm, rising vocal response to your good morning is something closer to emotional participation than reaction. They're trying to communicate back. Watch the ears. When you speak, your dog's ears move, not randomly, but in direct response to what they're detecting. Ears forward means active engagement. Ears relaxed and slightly back while they hold eye contact? That's a dog who feels safe enough to just be with you. Watch the tail, not just if it's wagging, but how. A wag that leans right when they see you? Research suggests that's associated with positive emotion, a response linked to your presence specifically. And the eyes. The slow blink, the soft gaze. When your dog looks at you like that, not because they want something, But just because you're there, that's not nothing. That's oxytocin, the same bonding hormone that releases between a parent and child. You are loved in the quietest, most unconditional way a living being can love another. And they're saying it constantly. In every look, every lean, every exhale. You just have to know you're being spoken to. So, what does your dog really feel when you talk to them? They feel found. In a world they can't fully navigate with words, in a life where they can't ask where you're going or when you're coming back, in moments when something is frightening and they can't name why, your voice finds them. It reaches into wherever they are emotionally and says, "I'm here." They don't need to understand every word. They don't need you to be eloquent or consistent or even coherent. They just need the sound of you. Because to your dog, your voice isn't just communication, it's proof. Proof that their person is still there, that the world is still safe, that whatever today holds, they are not facing it alone. And every time you speak to them, in the morning fog, in the middle of a busy day, in the quiet dark before sleep, you are giving them the thing they need most in this world. Not food, not toys, not even walks. You, the sound of you. If your dog is near you right now, say their name. Watch what happens to their face. That little shift, the ears, the eyes, the breath, that's not a trained response. That's love recognizing itself. Dogs may never fully understand our language, but they spend every single day of their lives listening for us anyway. Tell me your dog's name in the comments. I'd genuinely love to hear it. And if this made you think of your dog differently, share it with someone who loves theirs. Because every dog owner deserves to know just how much they mean to the animal waiting for them at home.